NRG lost a best of 3 to Rapid Lo-Fi, a team who consistently placed near, if not dead last, in Pacific Ascension and Challenger Leagues. So, how did NRG lose to these chumps? Well, on the third map, Rapid Lo-Fi bust out the throwback double duelist Jet Phoenix comp, and NRG got burned.
That's okay. Things are gonna be okay.
Round after round, this hot-headed entry backpacked this bottom-of-the-barrel team to a convincing win over one of America's favorite teams. But were Phoenix's buffs enough to launch him up to the top of Pearl's tier list? Yes. Don't believe me? Well, watch this. And now, you might be wondering, Phoenix? On Pearl? How did NRG lose to him? Isn't he like F tier? Well, facing agents you don't normally play against can throw you for a loop, and you might not be able to make the right adjustments on the fly, which is why programs like Rala AI exist. Rala is your Radiant robo-companion that helps you win games. Are you getting run over by 5 duelists? Did no one on your team pick smokes? Or can you just not remember a lineup or setup? Ask Rala. It will give you Radiant level advice, videos, and screenshots with just the press of a button. Rala AI also provides automated alerts like in case the enemy can afford an op, or someone is one off an ultimate orb. Why track this information on your own when you can have a robot do it for you? Too good to be true? It's not. Watch this. Hey Rala, I'm playing against a Phoenix on Pearl. What should I do to stop him? Maybe NRG should have downloaded this. Rala is also partnered with Overwolf, which is authorized by Riot Games. So this will never get you banned and doesn't hog any resources. So join the over 50,000 players that have a competitive edge by using Rala by clicking the link down in the description. On Pistol, Lo-Fi are already playing to one of Phoenix's strengths, contact plays. Their plan is to split in a 4-1, but wouldn't agents with get out of jail free cards like Jet, Yoru, or Reyna be better for these walk into areas of the map type of plays? Yes, but also no. There's one resource that isn't utility that a lot of players tend to forget about, and that's health points. Before, Phoenix would have to sit in his molly in order for it to heal himself, which would stall his entire team. But now, Prodigy and his team can contact into art, take a duel, touch it, and keep going, just like the rest of the healers. But this won't matter too much, as NRG have hedged their bets on a double door default or B long hit in their 2-2.5. Round 1 starts off super quiet as the attackers walk out a window down towards art, and NRG are getting suspicious. They have info on 3 lanes, long, art, and A. So Ethan turns his attention into street. But as soon as the attackers break this turret, all hell breaks loose. FNS takes cover in dugout, Ethan suppresses doors, and the rest of NRG move through Con, but most through water, leaving Sam behind. Because the offense split through art, odds are there's a lot of people here. Funneling through connector and into a jumbo crossfire, that's silly. Instead, NRG is going to retake flower, secure front sight, then head into art together where Sam's been waiting patiently and they could pinch the offense together. Now, if you look at the map, NRG have already done step 1, and basically 2. With a Shock, Nano, and Gravwell all still online, Lo-Fi are planning to spam the hell out of the spike, meaning no one's on site. This entire retake relies on the speed in which NRG do so. But they gotta go fast. This is a lot of utility.
รออยู่ครับแล้วมาด่ากำลังจะกู้และไอ้เพื่อนบล็อกในเรื่องของกราฟิตี้เวลไว้ครับกูแต่ยังไม่ถึงครึ่งแต่ซอมไหลมาและซอมอาจจะพลาดไปหน่อยถึงได้1ตัวครับเอาบัตเอาชงโบเก็บมาดับมาได้พูดิจีได้อีธานมาเช่นเดียวกันซอมได้เอาบัตเขตคืนไปซอมได้2เกี่ยวมาเวอร์โนได้1ก็จริงโดนถีบไปแล้วซอมเก็บ3มาแล้วตรงนี้สุดเวลาไว้กับซูกะอยู่แบบนี้เวลาไม่ทันก็เสร็จซูกะเลยครับ
Killjoy popped her nano first and early so it wouldn't get shot. Suka then souped them off, and Albez's shock dart took down Mata, who was vulnerable from said Gravwell. And after all of that, Prodigy finally whipped out his curveball after most of NRG had their attention pointed at Art, which was the final nail in the coffin on this pistol round. It's no question that Phoenix's biggest strength is that his ultimate only costs 6 points, meaning that when you run this guy in your comps, your goal should be to min-max these orbs as often as you can to ensure that you can pop your run-it-back a bunch in 1/2. And that's Lo-Fi's plan in their 1-1-3. Grab this orb. But NRG aren't stupid. They know Phoenix is salivating over this thing and want to fight for it in their 1-4. The round opens up with both teams dumping utility on each other. Recon, Haunt. Ethan flashes half of his own team, but behind a smoke, the orb belongs to NRG. And now Lo-Fi has just seen most of the defense, so Suka swings out a club to take B space, but the offense don't want to act too hastily. They're just lingering outside of A, barely dodge Ethan's knife, and Suga gets spotted by FNS's turret. So to NRG, you'd imagine the attackers have to be on their way. They spotted 4 earlier. But Lo-Fi aren't. They think that's too obvious. The offense have allowed the dust to settle and want to re-clear this lost space. I mean, the attackers have ramp, mid with this turret, and are only missing a main. So Albus whips out his drone and it starts to clear things out. But is it going to spot the 4-stack?
small buy แบบนี้
แล้ว
มุม
เล่นบนล่างกันหมดเลยครับแล้วโพดิจี้รู้ตำแหน่งมาตะกินเก็บ
It was a bait. NRG also thought that Lo-Fi rotating to B would be way too obvious. So the defense stuck around and used KO as a bait to drag the offense's crosshairs into this. But now that Lo-Fi have seen 4, they're out and are sprinting back to B. And now NRG's creative eco-strat has been rewarded with a Phantom. A once hopeless round has a big win condition, potentially 2. Time is running really low. If FNS can stall and allow his team to rotate, they might have a chance.
ต้องรอให้เขาเข้ามาที่ B ฮอเท่านั้นครับป๊อปนาโนสวอร์มไปก่อนครับเนียนๆไม่รู้ว่าใครจะอยู่ไหมแต่ได้ยิงฟรีตรงหน้าเต็มพอดีเอเมเนเก็บ1ก่อนโพดิจี้เทรดซอมคืนไปได้สไปค์มันยังตกอยู่แล้วเขาเอาเคลียร์ของมาเลยแล้วการยอมแช่พยายามจะไปเบิร์นแต่ซูกะเก็บแล้วเอเมเนคืนมาเดินมุดมา1มาได้ตัวที่2แล้วเทวินกลับมาแต่ไม่รู้เขาอยู่ด้านหลังซูกะเก็บ3วินนี้ครับ
With the lone saved Phantom and the way the offense bought last round, Lo-Fi have 2 rifles going into the bonus. Their plan is to get Phoenix his last ult point in A main and use his runaback to act as a drone and be the spearhead into an A execute for the guns to trade off of. But NRG know just how valuable this orb is. They have a triple stack looking to fight anyone turning this corner. But that won't work because Lo-Fi remember how hard NRG fought for the space last round, so they're amping up the firepower. Recon, dash, flash, double recalled stars, then a third to deter a re-clear, plus Jin just spamming his Phantom. NRG are forced to fall back. But the defense wants some map control in return for losing A, so Mata and Verno move up Art.
ค่อนข้างไวนะคือบอลมันไวมากอ่ะมันปาไปทีมันก็โดนแล้วอ่ะทำให้ได้มีโอกาสได้คอนโทรลมากกว่าครับแล้วดันมาตรงกลางมิดพาซ่ามาดะรีเจนชิลมาด้วยครับแล้ว
The offense responds to this mid aggression by taking A.
คาเบิร์ดพื้นเล่นครับจริงๆได้เพจจากเวอร์โน่ครับ
แล้วไหลเข้ามาแบบนี้ก็อีธานครับเดี๋ยวล้างบอลไปก่อนหนึ่ง
Phoenix's runnerback has revealed KO's position and has given Lo-Fi an open A site. This was essentially a 6 versus 5. Now with Art under control, Fade gives it up to rejoin her team in Flower and soon to be Dugout. But Lo-Fi want to continue their momentum. They plan for spawn and recognize that if they win this round, NRG will have to save and they can snowball their own economy. So Suka lays out his cosmic divide. How are NRG getting through this without flashes?
นี่ดูครับผ่านกระโดดออกมาแหมรู้เลยครับเขาเจาะใกล้แล้วโปรดิจี้ยิงทะลุเข้าหัวเอเวสไปเลยแล้วซอมไปเทรดโปรดิจี้คืนมาบินไปตัดซอมมาแบบนี้เหลือคนเดียวเลยครับเวอร์โน่
เฮ้ยแล้วเวอร์โน่เวอร์เกินไปเปล่าแต่มีทั้งใกล้และไกล
On NRG's following eco, Lo-Fi didn't want to deal with the mind games they dealt with on round 2, said f it, and just went B. Normally, when Phoenix slams this site, he'll use his blaze as cover to get his team into Hall safely, but with the better weaponry, that really wasn't necessary. He instead saved it for the post plant, where he basically made it impossible for anyone to come out of spawn and enter elbow without taking major permanent damage. This double-layered wall acts as a mini toxic screen that Phoenix can pop out of at any given time and heal himself. And now after that convincing B Slamma NRG take a timeout to figure out how they want to deal with these underdogs. Okay guys, I think I know how to deal with Phoenix. We just have to... What is that noise? Really? Coming out of the timeout, NRG's plan is to fight for A hard, but only with 1 or 2 players to try and bait Lo-Fi to go B, where they'll be met with Mata and his new 4,700 credit crutch. But the offense are just going B. With Sova's Harness Fury, they don't care about this stupid orb and plan on pushing spawn to counter Sam's Cosmic Divide, which is normally used for retaking B. But how are they countering that? The round opens up loud on A with KO launching a flash, Astra smoking the cross, and Fade lobbing a haunt through window, but no one's there. Back on B, the offense know that this op can exist and are being super careful. As Albus's drone turns the corner, Suka pulls back a start across and top screens to scramble a potential opper. And now Lo-Fi scale down ramp, but hug the close wall until the drone gets shot. The op's been pushed back. Now's their time to go.
โดนทิ้งไปก่อนโดนรู้ตำแหน่งครับโอเปอเรเตอร์ลั่นไปแล้วด้วย FNS เนียนก็เสร็จกิน
Notice how Jin didn't come out of his smoke until Prodigy's blaze shielded his butt, allowing him to clear screens safely. This wall and recon behind has also allowed Jin to clear out elbow, Suka stun spawn to prevent a run out, giving Prodigy the green light to move up to street and do this.
นี่ลำบากเลยครับโนว่าเผาด้านหน้าตัวฟูรี่ถูกจ่ายมาจะจ่ายไปโพดิจี้โอ้โหฮอตแฮนด์เกี่ยวเบอร์โน่แต่เบอร์โน่กับ
Prodigy mollied straight to push in while Albus blasted this narrow alley with his Hunter's Fury. Lo-Fi knew that the defense would be playing retake with Astra's ult, so NRG would be grouped in this area. This big laser has left NRG in a 3 versus 4 retake. Now, do they still use the Cosmic Divide? Well, first, they need to clear elbow. KO's knife just tagged too. And for now, all Sam needs is a smoke from main to isolate the stragglers.
ดูครับ Gravity Well ซื้อเวลามาแล้วอีธานพยายามจะมาไล่เคลียร์ไล่แง้มรีเทคแต่ว่าอีธานจังหวะดึง Gravity Well มาอีธานได้1ครับมาด่าไปได้เอาวัสมากินแต่ตอมขึ้นมากินเอา3แล้วตอนนี้กินจะเกี่ยวต่อครับลั่นเลยอีธานคนเดียว1-2โดนนาโนสวอมเบรกจังหวะแบบนี้ก็เสร็จกินสิก
Last round, NRG recognized that Prodigy only needed one more ult point for his run it back and 4 stacked A.
เอาแล้วนะตอนนี้ทีมจากอเมริกาเทียไหนไม่สำคัญตอนนี้เวียดนามชนได้หมดแล้วชนจริงๆด้วยกินเก็บมาดาไปก่อนยิงทะลุกล่องไม้มาเกือบจะตายไปแล้วเกือบจะลูก
After NRG took down Phoenix, the job was done and they backed off. Eventually, the offense went A, but Sam's Cosmic Divide shut Lo-Fi out of the round. But now, with Phoenix's run-it-back available, the offense are splitting A in a way that I've never seen in their soon-to-be 4-1. And now NRG are suspecting a B hit is coming in their 3-1-1. Makes sense. Phoenix is strong at hitting the site with his wall, but not this time. The offense sprints out of window and shop, Killjoy plops her turret down, Verno's Prowler gets blasted, and a star gets placed for connector.
แล้วใครจะวัดครับลานอิดแบ็กไหลมาก่อนเลยโบดิจี้บอกขอหา1เลื้อยมาหลังเวอร์โน่เพื่อนลั่น
Lo-Fi pinched art from 2 different lanes. Normally, when players get pushed in mid, they drop back to connector. But when you have an extra life to spare, why not go run at them? This forces the defender to face Phoenix's ult head-on or fall back to Art, where Lo-Fi had 3 attackers waiting for them with open arms. And escaping through water would take too long, so Prodigy just ran through street and opened up Art for the rest of his team. And now Ethan thinks he can punish the respawn.
แล้วมันเป็นรันอีกแบ็คเขากลับมารีเซ็ตได้แต่รู้แล้วยังไปน็อกอีธาที่ไปกดน็อกคอมมานด์มาจะดี FNS ครับเทรดโพดิจี้มาสู้กับ
Just why? Pushing mid is a horrible idea as you're going to run into natural crossfires. And here, Killjoy's turret was watching Phoenix's back, and Astra was on her way. But NRG have one last glimmer of hope. Mata has crawled all the way up long and is ready to backstab the offense.
ทุกเพื่อนก็เสียไปด้วยเลยครับแบบนี้เหลืออยู่2คนครับมาแล้วกับซอม
Never mind, NRG lose. Lo-Fi, who are supposed to be a bad team, are running away with this game, so NRG take another timeout. Man, guys, is it hot in here? Or is it just Phoenix? Coming out of the timeout, NRG are formed in a 2-1-2. Their plan is to combat a B hit early, but be fluid around the map and try to have the stack in the right place at the right time. But Lo-Fi are just slamming B and want to take advantage of their long-range rifles. But that's going to change, because as soon as the barriers drop, Ethan flings his 0 point and tags a lot of attackers. I think. We don't have a replay system. So the offense, back out of B, expecting rotates are headed this way. But it's the opposite. NRG are expecting the offense to head back to A after being tagged by this suppress. So Jet and KO sprint back to A, leave Faye to spot the line, and the offense meet them there. Sova grabs an orb, but these 3 want to apply more pressure. Astra pulls back a star. They peek. Jin takes pot shots at Sam, but the offense place an alarm bot and stand around. Okay, this is starting to look a lot like round 2. Phoenix and Astra are across the map, and it looks like Lo-Fi are going to run into this 4 stack. They need to make a decision.
Want me to make a distraction? Over.
On B, Phoenix is going to create so much noise that it should convince NRG that they're headed this way. Going B is what this agent is good at. But he's just been tagged by a haunt. Verno was waiting for the star to get pulled back. So NRG isn't going to bite on this one person being tagged by this thing. Now, as the time runs down, so does Phoenix. And since the clock is so low, NRG guessed that it has to be B. Lo-Fi aren't giving themselves enough time.
seconds left.
อ้าวผม
เริ่ม
พูด
ไปแล้วครับเริ่มไปแล้ว
อุ้ยแล้วเข้ามาครับเทวินเข้าไปด้วยเอเมเนครับเอาช็อตตี้ไปเก็บมาได้1ก่อนแล้วสเปย์มาต้องช็อตบ้าเกินไปกินยังได้แต่เอาบอลเก็บไป2เหลืออีธานแฟกเมนต์ย้อยๆมาก่อน1ครับมีการส่งของมาเป็นซีโร่พอยต์เวลาเหลือ13 วินาทีอีธานโดนโซนมาซูกะรอจังหวะอยู่เห็นว่าตรงฟลาเวอร์ก็มาเหมือนกันคือเวอร์โนมีพาวเลอร์มาด้วยแล้วซูกะต้องรออยู่แต่เอาบอลเขาเก็บ3แล้วเป็นเวอร์โนชูริฟเก็บมา
Ethan was successful at distracting long enough for Verno to come over with the sheriff and much more HP. He has secured a rifle and put Phoenix in a 1v1.
อันออนวันครับเวอร์โนโพลิจี้มีเคิร์ฟบอลไปก่อน1หน้า
สม
พอแต่แฮนไล่ที่มาโอ้โหไฟ
แรงด้วยตึงเลยครับโพดิจีของหมดแล้วครับเจอยังไงก็เจอครับพอรู้ยังไงก็เจอโพดิจี
Lo-Fi's ecos are way too complex. Time and time again, they're running out of it. Just group up, keep the guns together, and keep it simple. Here, Phoenix's fake on B kinda worked at the last second. He would be the perfect decoy to go solo fake B, but NRG stuck to their guns and gave us another exciting eco. The Phoenix has cooled off for the past few rounds, but here, Lo-Fi are slowing down the pace. Every time they've defaulted a main, it's been loud, with flashes, recons, explosions, lasers, kaboom! Sorry. But this time, the offense are just walking up. And now NRG are flying up ramp for the first time this game in their 2-1-2. The round begins with KO suppressing club, Sam smokes it off, but it doesn't matter. Astra hears all this going on, and all it does is encourage this contact play on A. Lo-Fi have the first blood, and Sam is out of there. Now, despite only having 2 here, Prodigy feels confident to pop his run back and take this space since B was so noisy. Now, NRG are giving this ultimate mad respect, not wanting to give it any kills. And with Sova planning for art, the next step of Lo-Fi's plan becomes clear. Suka is lurking through Double Door, while Sova and Phoenix create a commotion through art. With this ruckus, he's going to move through water and backstab the retake, while they deal with these 2, plus Killjoy Nanos, plus his Grav Well that he can activate from anywhere on the map. So, can Lo-Fi stall long enough? Phoenix flashes into art and trades out to Sova. Phoenix turns towards Connector next, realizes it's clear, and he remembers he still has to be a distraction. So he walls out towards sight, and NRG's retake begins.
ไอฟอร์จ่ายมาตรงลิงก์เคลียร์ครับมีเบรสมาด้วยโพดิจีรอจังหวะเคิร์ฟบอลนับ3 2 1รอแน่โพดิจีเคิร์ฟบอลเสร็จปุ๊บส้มกันหมดแล้วแบบนี้โพดิจีได้1แล้วเคิร์ฟบอลเหลืออีกลูกซูกะวิ่งมาดูกาวิตี้เวลแล้วเรียบร้อยซูกะมาจากหลัง
Phoenix and his now rechargeable flash made these last kills a layup. NRG were so focused on art that they never expected a backstab. Remember, NRG are one of the best teams in the world and won't just FF like your ranked teammates will. In the second half, NRG won the pistol, the anti-eco, and now it's Lo-Fi's first full buy. If NRG can manage to steal this one, the comeback is on. Their plan is to default across the map in their 1-1-1-2 to try and get a feel on Lo-Fi's setup, while Mata solo works down long with his elo cannon to try and catch a defender peeking for info. But Lo-Fi are turtling up and aren't getting that aggressive. Maybe they paid attention to NRG's money and know that an op is on the loose. The barriers fall and NRG open up by taking most of the map. Knife for A, turret for mid, Haunt lineup that peers into the hole in art, and Astra pulls back a star so that Jet can peek out. NRG literally have everything. And now as Mata continues to scale down long, Verno applies more pressure on art by ripping a Prowler, which tempts the defense to get info somewhere. So Jin gets ready. Mata barely misses, but this pressure has tempted Killjoy to peek out for info herself, FNS taking her down. And that kill is a disaster for Lo-Fi, as now every lane is open for the offense to wander into, forcing the defense to have to spread super thin. Jet and Sova move back into spawn, one picks up water, while the duelist holds a super passive line on B. But lucky for Lo-Fi, NRG are headed back 2A and into a 2.5 stack. As the offense creep through A main, Mata leads the charge with the knowing that Lo-Fi is starving for info and have to peek.
หลังเข้าถ้าตัดได้เข้าปุ๊บเลยครับแต่มีเบสมากันกับฮอตแฮนด์ครับ แต่ทางด้านของมาดาหลุดเข้ามาในไซส์แล้วเอาปืนพกมายิงมาแต่เอาบัตครับเอาทางด้านของแฟนทอมมาเก็บไว้ตรงนี้ตรงช็อปกลายเป็นว่าแพ้ไปไม่สำเร็จครับออนไลน์เคลียร์ไปถึง3คนบูโน่เหลือคนสุดท้ายเวลาเหลือ10 วินาที
แล้ว10 วินาทีเวลาบีบแบบนี้เขาเอาโดรนซื้อเวลาเลยครับแล้วไหลออกมาก็เสร็จ
Art is Phoenix's home. Is similar to how KO's play in Tree and Ascent, Phoenix has a multitude of plays to make from this position. He can pop flash and retake early, use his blaze as a flood smoke to safely get into backside, or here, he combined his wall and molly to isolate Jet and KO from the rest of their team. KO tried to force his way through, but was 45 HP because he tried to do so. And despite being down a player, Phoenix was able to stall for his teammates to come in and flood alongside him. Guys, I'm telling you, Phoenix is a must pick on this map. He just slots in so well. But does he fit in as well as Brimstone and Reyna? What the? Watch this video and you tell me.